Welcome. Please be seated. My name is Kate Biddle. I am the Dean of Students at the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. It is my pleasure to welcome you today as we award degrees to our 2024 Harris graduates. I would like to first introduce Senior Lecturer and Executive Director of International Policy and Development, Rebecca Wolf, to share some thoughts with our graduates. Rebecca?
Welcome, Harris faculty, staff, family, and friends, and especially welcome to the Harris graduating class of 2024. On behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff at Harris, I am delighted to offer my congratulations on the event of your graduation. With the support of friends, family, and classmates, you have completed a tremendous journey. We are proud of all you have accomplished. You are ready to apply your newly gained skills and knowledge to advance progress in your chosen arenas. You came to the University of Chicago with a desire to acquire new skills and knowledge that would help you advance public policy for the building of a better and more just world. For many of you, that desire was motivated by policy problems that you were passionate about when you arrived. Your time at Harris has challenged you to master how to make sense of data and information, to think analytically about the complexities of human interactions, and to reflect on the underpinnings of conflicts, peaceful or otherwise, throughout society and government. The stakes have never been higher in public policy, from climate change to global conflict, to income inequality, to public safety, to threats to democratic institutions. As you reflect on all you have achieved, I am encouraged to know that we have the best and brightest minds in each of you working in public policy. Indeed, this was Irving Harris's intent in founding our school 3 decades ago, and the legacy each of you carry forward as graduates of this great institution. And now, it is my honor to introduce Mohammad Fajar Nugara, our featured student speaker. Fajar is a Master of Public Policy graduate at the Harris School of Public Policy, University of Chicago, focusing on international policy and development and finance and policy. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Indonesia and an accounting degree from Sekolah Tinggi Akuntansi Negara. Fajar's professional experience reflects his dedication to improving lives through sound macroeconomic policy and inclusive financial institutions and markets. He has extensive experience in macroeconomic policy and financial market analysis, having worked with the Ministry of Finance in Indonesia and the World Bank's Jakarta country office. Fajar is deeply committed to promoting equality and inclusivity through his work. This passion led him to serve as a board member of the Asian Policy Forum at the University of Chicago for 2 consecutive years. In this role, he actively championed initiatives representing the voices and concerns of underrepresented communities, including his home country of Indonesia at University of Chicago. His visionary leadership and dedication to inclusivity led to the Asian Policy Forum to be recognized as Harris Student Organization of the Year. Fajar further enriched his skill set at Harris with practical experience as an intern at the International Financial Corporation, IFC, and as a graduate assistant at the Rustandi Center for Social Sector Innovation at the Booth School of Business. These experiences reinforced his understanding of the powerful intersection between business, policy, and social impact. Driven by a desire to make a tangible impact on the lives of others, Fajar's career aspirations lie in utilizing his experience in finance and macroeconomics to foster equality and opportunity. Fajar?
Good afternoon, esteemed faculty members, proud family, and most importantly, my dear friends, 608 people of the graduating class of the Harris School 2024. We did it! We have come to the Harris School from all over the world, each of us on a unique journey. Some arrive fresh from the undergraduate studies, while others return to school as seasoned professionals seeking their master's degrees. A special mention to the first-generation students who are trailblazers for their families and communities. So congratulations to all of you. I applaud each one of you who has reached this incredible milestone. To the parents who have traveled from around the world to celebrate with us today, welcome to the University of Chicago. And to those who cannot be here to see their children on this beautiful main quad, know that your love and support have been instrumental in their success, in our success, and we love you. I am among the many Harris International students graduating today who are far, far away from home. In fact, I chose to fly from Indonesia more than 36 hours in order to step foot in the US for my very first time to begin this program in August of 2022. I did so with a lot of anxiety about succeeding in academic life while being separated from my family. But I also came here with curiosity and passion to build the tools that would help me make a significant positive impact in the future. I realized that Harris is not just about the rigor. Our time at Harris has been about constructing these bridges between theory and practice, between data and policy, and most importantly, between each other. That extends beyond language and nationalities. We have shared stories, arguments, laughters, and of course, free foods. I know that all of us here were not only pursuing advanced degrees in public policy, but also we were here pursuing free food for 2 years. Dear friends, this graduation is not the end of our story. Instead, it is the beginning of our long-term collective collaboration. We have learned that progress is impossible when we isolate ourselves in our own echo chambers. If we refuse to engage with those who hold different views, to solve problems and create meaningful change, we must embrace the power of building bridges. This means that first, actively listening to one another. Two, considering alternative perspectives. And working together to find solutions that impact communities' wants and needs. As future policy leaders, we must always remember that legality does not equal to inclusive and just policy. In recent history, there have been countless examples of legal orders and frameworks that were unjust and harmful. In South Africa, up until the last 30 years, segregation and apartheid were legal. Here, in the city of Chicago, redlining was a legal practice that has left a devastating legacy until this day and is reflected in the lives of the communities of South and West Sides. But also, these examples also demonstrate the power of change. We have learned the tools to create a more just and equitable society, and starts with recognizing our actions that must be guided by our own values, not just by the law. We must keep the mindset that policymaking is about shaping the opportunities available, not only for those living today, but also for generations to come. And I also want to remind all of us that while change is necessary, there is no such thing as one-size-fits-all public policy, because public policy should be shaped by culture, history, and context. So my dear friends, Harris taught us the impact of public policies on neighborhoods, families, and economies. How effective policymaking demands a balance, quantitative analysis for measurable results, and qualitative method for capturing meaningful stories beyond those numbers. After 2 years of being soaked in the pool of data, we should not forget the heartbeat, the people, and the lives behind each data point. Data and statistics should be instruments to help humankind, not by treating humankind as a mere number. And today, we are becoming the alumni of one of the most renowned institutions for data-driven policies. Harris School is one of the best schools in the whole world, and the brightest minds are here, all of you. But how can we be impactful policymakers or stick to the value of social impact down to science if we are not comfortable of talking about humanitarian issues that is happening right now? So I want to take this opportunity to challenge the deafening silence by reminding all of us that we live in a situation where leaders, global leaders, continue to turn a blind eye to the ongoing crimes against humanity in the Palestine. Where at least 15,000 children are being murdered, being burned, turned to ashes, and their lost souls are only viewed as mere numbers. I am running out of words to describe what is happening in Gaza, but just open your eyes and heart. It is a nightmare, a hell on earth. While we are celebrating as the class of 2024 on this beautiful main quad, there is currently no class of 2024 for Palestinians in Gaza. They are all human beings who had dreams and hopes of being able to live a peaceful and happy life, just like us here in the main quad. It feels conflicted for me to celebrate this graduation when unspeakably tragic happened on the other side of the world. It is a humanitarian crisis of our generation, and I encourage all of you, my fellow policy leaders, to join the global demand for a permanent ceasefire and sustainable peace in Palestine. Enough is enough. There is no neutrality. As Dr. King said, there comes a time when silence is betrayal. We cannot continue to witness this horrible tragedy. This nightmare must stop. It is our duty as future policy leaders to see the humanity in everyone, to stand in solidarity with the oppressed, and to fight for justice. Because the atrocities being committed now, based upon a narrative meant to silence a dissent that could befall any of our countries, our peoples, our families, and our homes. So, dear friends, we should ask ourselves, what kind of policies and change do we want to create? Whether you find yourself in a nonprofit, a government agency, a corporation, or academia, we should always listen to each other and build bridges to make a difference. A difference, not just for a few, but for all. I do really hope that we constantly challenge the unjust structures, acknowledge our biases, and most importantly, lead with empathy. And I believe our Harris class of 2024 is policy leaders who will always nurture humanity and foster improvement for others. And I truly believe that. Today, we have learned the science behind public policy, and it's time to use it for social impact. Thank you. Congratulations. See you again.
Next, I'm delighted to welcome to the stage Harris alumna, Kathy Im. Kathy is a 1997 graduate of the Harris School, during which time she co-founded the Chicago Policy Review. She went on to work in the corporate and public sectors before landing at the MacArthur Foundation, where she's currently the Director of Journalism of the Journalism and Media Program. In this role, she leads a team that works to advance independent journalism, freedom of the press, civic media, and storytelling that promotes inclusion, understanding, and narrative change. For the past 18 months, Kathy was among the key architects of a major new philanthropic collaboration called Press Forward that raised $500 million to revitalize local news in news and information deserts across the country. She has now turned her attention to expanding MacArthur's global work to protect journalists working in countries hostile to a free press. A recognized leader in media, Kathy is a board member of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a role for which she was nominated by President Biden, chair of the advisory board of the Berkeley Journalism School, and a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Kathy is also a member of the Harris Council. Kathy?
Thank you, Dr. Wolf, for that introduction, and thank you to Fajar for those incredible remarks. Dean Bueno de Mesquita, Dean Biddle, Dean Black, members of the faculty and administration, parents, family, friends, and of course, graduates, thank you for having me today. I am honored and humbled to be addressing you on this important day. So much has changed since my time at the Harris School. I took classes in a building that no longer stands. Most of the professors from my era have retired. My graduating class was a little over 60 students, and we all know this graduating class is over 600 strong. While so much has changed, some things are enduring. The exceptional education and high standards, the brilliant faculty and student body, and to my delight, the Chicago Policy Review. When the Policy Review celebrated its 25th anniversary a few years ago, I was thrilled to be invited back for the festivities. I had hoped, but didn't expect at the time, that our little academic journal would survive beyond the first year. Because it was so much a part of my time at the Harris School, and because I had a chance to reflect on the origin story for the anniversary, the lessons from that time are fresh in my mind, and I thought I'd share those with you today. The Chicago Policy Review was imagined and then actualized in 1996 by a group of students who felt that something was missing in our experience here. Even as we valued the rigorous education, we yearned for a greater purpose, an outlet to apply and translate what we were learning, and a desire to create a sense of community and a point of pride. As you enter, or for some of you re-enter the workforce, you will inevitably encounter settings where you see the need for something that doesn't already exist, something your instinct and your particular experience tells you could be of value to you and your colleagues, the work, and the institution. When you encounter those instances, I hope you, graduates, will have the courage, creativity, and perseverance to turn your ideas into reality. It is very easy to complain and to criticize. It is much harder to inspire, persuade, and build. I hope you see yourselves as builders and change agents for the greater good, and that you will become builders of new things, new processes, new systems, new organizational culture, new institutions that endure and create opportunities for others. The second lesson is about leadership and teamwork. When you're at a place like the University of Chicago, everyone wants to be a leader, everyone wants to be at the top, everyone wants to be at the center. But in order to get a new journal off the ground, we needed editors, writers, and designers. We needed people to manage the budget, to liaise with the administration, and to work with the printers. In order to move this new enterprise from startup to success, we had to value each and every role and often be willing to roll up our sleeves and do whatever was needed at the moment. As you become leaders in your workplace, managing your own teams, keep in mind that the most effective leaders know how to flex between serving and leading and can do every job and role on the team. Fajar and I agree on this point. Unfortunately, we are in a global leadership crisis where the wrong things have been rewarded. I hope this class of 600 will change that. I hope each of you, wherever your careers take you, will become the type of leader that is confident and compassionate, expert and open to dissent. The kind of leader that works the hardest, is the first to share credit, and never leaves anyone behind. The problems we are confronting today are complex, entrenched, and existential. In my own work, I'm worried about the steady decline of a free and independent press and the spread of mis- and disinformation targeting vulnerable communities. I'm worried about the harassment and violence against journalists that is meant to intimidate and silence them from reporting the truth and holding powerful people to account. This work can sometimes feel hopeless and depleting, and I imagine that many of you will also find yourselves working on some tough problems and challenges in the future. But the Harris School has equipped you, so you need not worry. You know how to look at a problem and break it down. You know how to collect and read data. You know how to test a hypothesis, evaluate an intervention, and measure outcomes and impact. Members of my own class of 1997 are now leaders in government, corporate America, and nonprofit institutions. And like us, you are leaving this campus with your Harris degree from the University of Chicago. The world will assume that you are capable and doors will open for you. But let's exceed expectations. These days, the loudest voices are determined to divide us, and the angry voices are determined to destroy us. So graduates, I urge you to become courageous builders and leaders with humility and heart who create community, belonging, hope, and opportunity for all. So class of 2024, congratulations. I wish you all the very best.
Dean Bueno de Mesquita. I call upon Dean Bueno de Mesquita and the designated faculty and staff who are here to assist with the presentation of degrees today. We will read the names of all of our 2024 graduates, both those who are here with us today and those who are celebrating from afar. Dean Bueno de Mesquita, the students I now present have attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy, I have the honor to present the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy as conferred by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and I welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Congratulations.
Terrence Chow. Emily Ann Harrison. Scott Loring. Maya Luzinski. Lucas Ferreira Mation. Laura Montenegra Helfar. Maithili Vinakota. Angela Jean Wise. Ruochen Yi. Dean Buedone Mesquita, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Arts, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Nathan Osabel. Bae-tae Hyun. Purushottam Mishnu Bandare. Shalani Chadayamuri. A.T. Craig. Jo Duan. Nina Gamadi. Gua Juyen. Julio Isamit. Takanori Kashino. Chenru Lee. Yuaming Lee. Lian Z. Liu. Matias Lusquinos. Yashashwi Mohanty. Amran Noor. Gabriela Rivera. Matthew Ryan. Purva Sirkango. Riyang Shi. Pallavi Siddhanta. Anthony Tebitendwa. William Wakuganda. Daichi Yamaguchi. Brianna Marie Youngblood. Pablo Zavala Reina. Huichao Zhang. Shuni Zhang. Jixi Zhou. Jingxing Zhou. Zhou Shuting. I went too fast, didn't I? Okay. Dean Bueno de Mesquita, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts by the Board of Trustees through our evening master's program.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Arts, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Daniel Grinspan. Huslin Bold. Ryan Boncamper. Trista Bordignon. Anne Elizabeth Brown. Mark Ryan Buchong. Christopher Blake Carter. David Clay. Tanya Cody Robinson. Mary Cunningham. Glenda DeLeon. Sabrina Camille Dirk. Tony Doan. Lisa Dubin. Lauren Elizabeth Duvall. Connie Lynn Frank. Antonina Daphne Gray. Sarah Howard. Jasna Jackson. Jeremy Jones. Nicolette Yurkovich. Ainur Kagrarman Eva. Amelia Kelly. Ken Lang. Janelle Marcellus. Angel Martinez. Isamar Mendoza. Elizabeth Milwaukee. Elizabeth Miller. Aziza Mula. Maralia Negron. Nick Pecora. Jessica Ramos. Gavin Reynolds. Ann Rojas. Damilora Rosawo. Christian Daniela Sanchez. Isabella Serna. Nadia Sheikh. Siddharth Sinha. Judson Wells Smith. Veronica Sloan Smith. Grace Catherine Snyder. Holland Spencer. Scott Summers. Mikel Jeanette Sutherland. Starla Thompson. Shakina Miriam Thornton. Latrice Lavon Tillis. Adam Turner. Nicholas Twardak. Mauricio Villacris. Joshua Wolf. Dean Bueno de Mesquita, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts with a certificate in research methods by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Arts with a certificate in research methods, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Sahil Adane. Eloisa Avila Uribe. Matthew Bonsi. Marsha Paramita Kendra Dewi. Hassan Choi. Lorena Beatriz Cuenza Cardosa. Lina Fan. Alejandro Garcia Cabrera. Lorena Heller. Bix Kamata Musa. Ki Han Lee. Samuel Libertor. Dekeng Liu. Sandra Natalia Maya Escarpeta. Natalia Mary McCormick. Sarah Mohamudi. Jordan Pattison. Will Pennington. Riley Sunghya Shun. Alexandra Sobczynski. Sarah Tabatabai. Freya Wang. Chining Wang. Shufei Wang. Ping Chiing Wang. Li Yuan Yang. Siwan Yang. Jingyang Li. Yuan Song Ye. Max Zahura. Yingcha Zai. Zanyu Zhou. Dean Buedo de Mesquita, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Public Policy by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Public Policy, and I express the hope that your work will guide public policy towards the enhancement of the public good. Congratulations.
Emily Ann Adams. Ananya Agarwala. Vitor Agrea da Silveira. Eugene Kwame Ajay. Deanna Ahmad. Muhammad Panji Al-Ahmad. Alam, my apologies. Ash Alejandro Taylor. Noura Alutabi. Alanud Asuleiman. Kirgit Estefanis Amlai. Biru Nitis Anjani. Misbah Farid Urshad. Madeline Augustini. Arnaldo Ayala. Dennis Ijon. Suna Bai. John Bakewell. Oriana Bayardo. Ejin Bao. Alexander Battaglia. Madhukar Batula. Grant Thomas Beard. Oscar Becerra Hernandez. Olga Bednarek. Tanaya Bellamy. Hannah Bernick. Vibhuti Bhatt. Atre Bomik. Jeffrey Biddle. Rhett Bomer. Margot Lydia Bond. Celine Bookin. Ryan Borgdorf. Claudia Virginia Boscan Medina. Claire Branfenbrenner. Jonathan Brooks. Kayla Bussey. Kalia Wendia Tia Buana. Jichuen Tai. Richard Campo. Jerry Zhao. Kaixia Tao. Ying Tao. Yufan Tao. Jashin Tao. Hannah Lee Capps. Grant Castle. Matthew Kavanaugh. Nicholas Chanko. Muaz Rafiq Chaudhry. Bingjia Chun. Ray Chen. Chen Sa. Andrew Chen. Yi Li Chen. Ethan Cherry. Francesca Alicia Shequin. Connor Christensen. Zachary Austin Cohen. Caroline Elizabeth Collins. Cynthia Corrales. David Cruz. Mateo Cruz. John Cruz Barcenas. Joe Choi. Jonathan DaCosta. Noah Daniel. Caroline Davidson. Kajori D. Santiago de Zuberia Ramirez. Brianna Diaz. Carly Catherine Damicolo. Ty Douglas. Chris Doyle. Yao Duan. Delaney Early. Mariam Ialam. Allison Elmer. Jordan Patricia Enos. Annalise Escher. Tanya Estrada Gomez. Shuen Fan. Yelizaveta Fedrovska. Candice Fair. Jane Feldmesser. Peiran Feng. Chi Feng. Yu Feng. Zainab Hamid Feroz. Amanda Fredrickson. Angel Uriel Frisancho Cabrera. Corina Fong Lau. Hannah Gaffney. Yuhang Gao. Sandhya Gurimella. Stefan Alexander Garner Cruz. Alessa Garrido Sosa. Santiago Ginebra. Mary Grace Giramahoro. Shimo Goyle. Yuvia Gonzalez. Natalie Rosemary Gonzalez. Alonzo Gonzalez Valdez. Madeline Green. Yuwon Gu. Lily Gullickson. Gua Jia. Tongyu Guo. Anvita Gupta. Mehul Gupta. Yashita Gupta. Anna Gorolnik. Spencer Chapman Nevin Heggis. Megan Hannon. Yutong Hao. Terius Harris. Hua Qingyi. Yushi Hua. Gabriel Heineman. Julia Higgins. Anisha Hisham. Ashley Joy Hodo. Katandra Lanice Hollins. Minjun Hong. Jessica Hooper. Dongyu Hao. Betsy Hu. Jeanlin Hu. Hu Xiaoyua. Yishuan Huang. Wen Huang. Huang Wenjia. Bella Huang. Yutao Huang. Zhongli Huang. Emma Spatz Holtgren. Xianche Vivian Hong. Andy Yejin Her. Abrar Hussein. Rachel Julie Wynn. Namuka Ishi. Ishimaki Katsuki. Tanya Jen. Jao Ji. Yushin Jian. Jingshao Jiang. Jade Ziyu Jiang. Amanda Jimenez. Chen Chun Jin. Ray Mong Jin. Xiao Ray Zheng. Christian Blake Johns. Nico Johnson. Sayed Ayman Kabir. Yosuke Kagaya. Hannah Kaplan. Kristen Wong Karanen. Nishita Karun. Oluwatosin Kareem Kasali. Jose Antonio Cast Adriasola. Arushi Kataria. Masamichi Kawakami. James Marlon Solomon Kent. Hafiz Mohammad Tamur Khalid. Sarawar Muhammad Shahriar Khan. Aiden Kim. Gundo Kim. Jane Kim. Julia Ann Klaus. Claire Knox. Navia Copacetti. Shotaro Korinaga. Emma Vale Cordabine. Rohan Kramer Guha. Revati Krishnan. Savarika Krishnan. Praveen Kumar. Sumeridan Kundin. Roslyn Ann Kutch. Talitha Theodora Kwan. Yulena Landaburu Ibarra. Where's the rest of our graduates? Oh, come from this side now. Violeta Lanza Robles. Alexandra Lara. Levi Latos. Hyun Jung Lee. Rena Lee. Alice Lele. Jinhua Lee. Jatong Lee. Jayi Lee. Juncheng Lee. Leo Chan Lee. Rosemary Lee.
Thank you so much.
Shuya Lee. Xiaoyu Li. Yi Li. Xiao Liang. Liao Junkai Edward. Xinyan Liao. Roger Lin. Yashin Lin. Zakai Lin. Zhenghui Lin. Alex Littell. Jiasun Liu. Tianyun Liu. Xingyu Liu. Ishan Liu. Zigong Liu. Fernando Jose Lopez. Danielle Lopez. Charlie Lowe. Jiayu Liu. Yu Liu. Weiya Luo. Maggie Lyman. Will Mahale. Jose Manuel Macias III. Satvika Maajan. Yixin Mao. Sophia Marcelli. Sochi Marquez. Kiki Martin. Claudio Martinez Santisteban. Nicole Martinez. Diana Martinez Ramirez.
Thank you, Katie.
Jugad Kar Matu. Megan McAvoy. Meredith Eileen McMurray. Riley Melton. Soshoan Mong. Shauna Metcalf. Lucas Miller. Claudia Natasha Montolalu. Logan Morales. Jassy Marcos. Alexander Samuel Mull Dreyer. Seamus Murphy. Rebecca Grace Muth. Ryochi Nakujima. Nicole Nappy. Devisha Harish Narakuli. Zara Naveed. Radha Nair. Tinevimbo Endulolu. Kylie Nethers. Alexander Newhall. Ihang Nia. Jason T. Nolan. Muhammad Fajar Nugraha. Okay. Michael Joseph O'Neill. John O'Neill. Layla Oland. Joseph Olaseinde Olalusi Jr. Raphael Onwanali. Adriana Overton. Isis Owusu. Truda Rose Padilla. Madeline Pattis. John Peloquin. G.E. Peng. Rand Perry. Sunday Placencia. Didit Wayu Pranita. Priyush Prakash. Claire Tien Jinyu. Han Tong Shin. Joseph Quinn. Tanaya Raj. Weishan Ran. Itzel Rangel Romero. Michael Ratliff. Isabel Rayborn. Fengxin Ren. Junyan Run. Shofi Riza. Aaliyah Robertson. Mariana Robles Rojas. Danya Ainur Rosa. Crystal Ruiz. Zai Rudder. Christian Saldana Gaona. Itzayana Paola Salgado. Arturo Sanchez Navarro. Megan Sanders. Kosuke Sato. Elizabeth Irene Sayasan. Peter Schleckman.
Thank you.
Joseph Robert Catherine Schneider. Yashwini Selvaraj. Azri Ashraf Shaharuddin.
Thank you.
Anusha Shaktawat. Tianyu Shao. Zachary Shapiro. Ananya Sharma. Monica Sharma. Jiaying Shen. Wenda Shen. Danya Sherbini. Jiayun Shi. Chris Shin. Azim Shivji. Alexandra Elaine Simon. Amartya Kumar Sinha. Aishwarya Shivramakrishnan. Nina Christian Small. Yelena Smyslovskia. Hoi So. Ridwan Soberin. Rebel Sophie. Jason Solomon. Ye-sung Sun. Tianhua Sung. John Spence. Ashish Shrivastava. Sanya Shrivastava. Edwin Joseph Stimson. Aaron Straight. Catherine Mary Strimbu. Robert Stull. Edan Su. Bebe Sun. Lanshi Sun. Peja Son. Yuhan Son. Matthew Swalik. Julia Rose Sykes. Mika Takahashi. Risako Takashima. Xiaowei Tang. Varun Thumpy. Elena Regina Cheyenne Thompson. Nora Thompson. M. Arikwazaman Tiash. Sophia To. Tian E. Tong. Esbedi Torres Hondal. Rahadian Triagi. Rutvi Vadera. Camilia Mercedes Valedule Mantilla. Ellen Vari. Maher Idris Vasi. Michelle Velasquez. Daniel Vasecki. Jose Ignacio Villalobos Gonzalez. Samantha Rose Volkmeyer. Miha Wong. Regina W. Ahmad. Skylar Waddington. Maxwell Wickstrom Wagner. Lung Yu John Wong. Siu Mei Wang. Xinyi Wang. E.C. Angela Wang. Ida Wang. Ifan Wang. Wang Yumeng. Vanessa Winyande. Christian Wardinsky. Morgana Warner Evans. Shu Chen Wei. Anna Weiss. Uting Wang. Rianda Wenther. Daniel Williams. Sydney May Williams. Fengza Wu. Sihan Wu. Wu Shishu Stefan. Ethan Wu. Yimeng Wu. Zarei Wu. Yuanzi Shi. Jiawei Xia. Xing Yujing. Chenhua Xu. Rita Xu. Rayoung Xu. Ayush Yadav. Haruki Yamano.
Thank you, Professor.
Haining Yang. Jamie Jia Yang. Jingshi Yang. Lindsay Yang. Ziquan Yang. Yongqing Yao. Hansel Yu. We're backed up a little bit. Fletcher York. Congratulations. Congratulations. Chen Hao Yu. Xiaoyang Yu. Yiting Yu. Yushi Yu. Jiaing Ali Yun. Anita Salivar. Tanya Zaragoza. Jorge Zavala. Jean Wing Zhang. Lei Zhang. Ruoshi Zhang. Cecilia Zhang.
Thank you.
Yan Zhang. Yucheng Zhang. Zetong Zhang. Xiaoyu Zhao. Xinyao Zhao. Yao Zhao. Kan Zhang. Jinyu Zhang. Ruisheng Zhang. Sinua Zhou. Zurei Zhou. Yiyao Zhu. And Zhenghao Zhua. Dean Bueno de Mesquita, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Science in Computational Analysis and Public Policy by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Science in Computational Analysis and Public Policy, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Ethan Arshit. Amari Bauer. Claire Boyd. Abraham Burton. Aisha Kamara. Raul Santiago Castellanos Guzman. Gongza Chen. John Christensen. Darren Scott Colby. Federico Dominguez Molina. Catherine Janice Dumais. Diamond Dunlap. Andrew Dunn. Betty Fang. Shraddha Ganapithi. Jack Gibson. Jacqueline Glasheen. Sarik Goyle. Eleanor Kate Havich. Hafner. Gregory Ho. Matthew Barnett Jackson. Yujia Jiang. Jessup Jong. Christian Jordan. Jonathan Juarez. Rohit Kandala. Jaskirat Kaur. Nadir Shahzad Khan. Lindsay Noel Kilpatrick. Benjamin Leva. Miao Lee. Catherine Link Oberstar. Summer Long. Seitu Lumba. Jose Maria Macedo Carrillo. Jose Martinez. Robert Allen McCormick. Manuel Enrique Mendez Diaz. Diego Mendoza Martinez. Shantaria Milner. Pablo Montenegra Holfer. Megan Moore. Yeah. Harsh Vardhan Patricia. Kay Celine Palisak. Michael Allen Plunkett. Ishan Prashur. Reza Rizki Pratuma. Riddhi Purohit. Madeline Roberts. Ivana Rodriguez Lobo. Angel Rodriguez Gonzalez. Xiomara Patricia Salazar Flores. Jimena Salinas Valdespino. Santiago Satisabo Acosta. Santiago Segovia. Divich Sinha. Lisette Solis. Shweta Srinivasan. Fu Suen Chong. Robert Surridge. Stefania Teo Zamudio. Francesca Eliza Vesha. Sarah Walker. Chenhui Fei Wong. Yue Wong. Maxine Shu. Gray Shu. Jeriel Yang.
Congratulations.
And Jennifer Yaton. Let's have one more round of applause for all 608 graduates. I would now like to introduce Dean Bueno de Mesquita to make closing remarks.
Congratulations, Harris Class of 2024. Great job. I'm going to ad-lib just for a second. I'm going to ad-lib most of it, but I'm going to ad-lib just for a second off my ad-libbing. I just want to acknowledge, I want to acknowledge that we've had some disagreements, some of you and I, about the role of a university leader in the current moment. Deeply felt disagreements, and I just want to say I appreciate that some of you had something to say and said it. That's what we do here. And I really appreciate that you chose to say it in a manner that nonetheless let us celebrate your and your classmates' amazing accomplishments. So thank you. All right, I know you're ready to head out and celebrate. They've given me the last word, and I've had a lot of you in class. You know me, so you will not be surprised to hear that I'm going to take it. Every Harris class is special, but for me, the class of 2024 is extra special. You're the last class of Harris students, at least for the foreseeable future, that I'll have the privilege of teaching in your first fall in analytical politics. This is the last graduation that I get to stand up here in the dean role and hear people tell me that they liked AP1, that they hated AP1. It's the last class of Harris graduates for the foreseeable future who I will be sure are taught what a strategy in an extensive form game is in exactly the manner I think it should be taught. And that's special to me. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad to be here with you. Before you leave, I just want to take a moment to reflect on some of what I hope your time here at the University of Chicago has left you with, as you embark on the sort of particular path that most of you have chosen, the path of a policy professional. As distinct from, I guess, two related callings that we sometimes think about in the policy world. One, the policy scholar, which is my own path, I guess, and the path of the activist. We're living through a difficult moment in the world of policymaking. A moment of profound challenges, of heightened awareness of all that divides us, values, life experiences, visions of justice, historical memories. It's a moment when many in our culture appear to despair of the value of analysis, of evidence, of dialogue, of debate. When presented with existential challenges, it's tempting to dismiss careful analysis and rigorous attention to evidence as so much fiddling while Rome burns, a scholar's luxury that those charged with shaping, implementing, and leading policy can't afford in morally urgent times.
And when the events of the day implicate our most deeply held beliefs and our most fundamental commitments, it can be hard to take seriously the possibility that we have something to learn from those with whom we disagree. It becomes tempting to draw lines in the sand, closing our minds to the possibility that our disagreements might be the result not of ill will, not of villainous intent, but of good faith differences of opinion about facts or values, differences that are worth seeking to understand so that we might learn something about the world or at least about one another. So if you leave here to begin your careers as policy leaders with just one deeply held intellectual commitment, I hope it's this. A strategy in an extensive form game is a complete contingent plan. But if you leave with two, then I hope you leave also believing that the more important, the more morally urgent an issue, the more essential to a policy leader are serious analysis, rigorous evidence, and good faith engagement with those with whom one disagrees. Of course, the need for analysis and for dialogue cannot be an excuse for doing nothing. Moral urgency calls not just for contemplation, it calls for action from policy leaders. But it's precisely because your actions in the policy world will have real consequences that you have an obligation to think hard and to think clearly, rigorously interrogating your actions, likely consequences, the assumptions that lie underneath them, and the values that they advance. In this sense, the work of a policy professional is more demanding than that of either a scholar who has to get the analysis right but isn't really in the doing business, or of the activist for whom moral conviction, even with little attention to analysis, may suffice to drive action. Your work instead must live up to the arduous twofold standard described by the great sociologist Max Weber over 100 years ago. You must fulfill, and quote, the scientific duty to see the factual truth, as well as the practical duty to stand up for your own ideals. We've tried during your time here to help you strike that balance. A Harris education cares about the practical, working with data in the wild, rolling up your sleeves to find workable, even if imperfect, solutions to real problems under real time and budgetary constraints, figuring out not just what needs to be done, but how to get things done. At the same time, a deep commitment to rigor, to pragmatic skepticism, and to always thinking carefully, clearly, and analytically have pervaded your education here. Through countless problem sets, you've learned tools and developed an intellectual fortitude that will shore you up against the temptation to conform. You've developed habits of mind that resist easy answers when they aren't backed up by evidence and argument. And you've built the self-possession to embrace your own fallibility, to acknowledge the possibility that no matter how certain you feel about an issue, you might be wrong, to be open to reasoned debate and to evidence, and to take seriously those with whom you disagree. This capacity to proceed with rigor, open-mindedness, skepticism, and pragmatism is the hallmark of a great policymaker. It's what it means to be a serious person doing serious work. It's what you owe those you will serve and those you will lead. And it is the enduring tradition of this university and this school of which you are now all a vital part. I have the utmost faith that each and every one of you is going to do great things. I can't wait to see what you achieve. Congratulations. Come back to visit us soon.
This concludes the ceremony. Candidates, graduates now, we are so proud of you. The faculty will process out. Graduates can collect their diplomas back by where you checked in. Feel free to stay, take photos with your classmates and your loved ones, and as Dean Bueno de Mesquita said, please come back and see us.